Welcome to Enlightened Game with Slim Sir, as he takes the lessons he learned from the streets, commonly known as the game, and applies them to everyday life, helping everyday people win the game of life, focusing on relationships, money, and the winner's lifestyle. This podcast will turn any chump into a champ. So if you're ready, let the game begin. And now, your host, the most valuable player himself, Slim Sir.
Listen up. I'm about to lay it down. I'm going to share some game with you, so pay attention. Ready? They say life is a you-know-what, and so is karma. Let me teach you what it means to be a PIMP of LIFE and a HOE with GAME. I'm talking about the first book of its kind, written by an ex-pimp, taking his negative past and turning it into a positive and powerful self-help program that anyone can learn and use. How to Pimp Life and Karma is a simple and easy system that thousands of people are using to get the best and the most out of their lives. This amazing ebook teaches you how to pimp your own life, how to mac your own money, and so much secret knowledge you'll be a sucker not to buy it and apply it. Slide over to slimsir.com and grab your copy of How to Pimp Life and Karma. That's SLIMSIR.com. Again, that's SLIMSIR.com. Slimsir.com.
Welcome to this special edition of Enlightened Game. I am your host, Slim Sir, and I want to wish all of the fathers out there a happy Father's Day. And on this Father's Day, I'm going to give you some key pieces of information that will empower you and instantly change how you see yourself and how you feel about yourself, and as a result, how you move in the world. Now, if you are on social media and you follow a lot of these quote unquote Instagram models or these models, you know, they're always saying that they are chasing the bag. And it occurred to me that it is okay for them to chase the bag, but they have to realize what the bag really is. Okay? You are the bag, brother. You are the bag that these ladies should be chasing. And let me tell you how you become the bag. I define the word bag, B.A.G, as being a gentleman. When you become a gentleman, you become the bag that is valuable enough for these ladies to be chasing. You see, a lot of times the males in society, they chase the females. That is not the way it goes in natural order. Natural order, when the world is the way it's supposed to be, when men are really men, women are to pursue men. Okay? They naturally want to chase the bag. They naturally chase you when you become the bag, when you become a gentleman. See? You differentiate yourself from the rest of the males. When you become a gentleman, you become valuable. And the way that you become valuable, the way that you become a gentleman, is by having this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of what manhood really is. You see, in today's society, manhood has been marketed and sold to us as some weak, watered down version of what it really is. Manhood is not politically correct. Manhood is raw strength. And that strength begins in your mind, how you see yourself. The weakness of man is not women or sex. The weakness of man originates in his own mind, how he sees himself. So from today on forward, what I want you to do is to become the bag. Be the bag. And you become the bag when you become a gentleman. And on that note, what I want you to do after this podcast is over, I want you to go to slimsir.com and sign up for the Max Bible Study Group, because this is the information that we share in it to empower you as a man. Now, when you think of yourself as the bag, and the bag represents money, and money represents value, how do you feel about yourself? You feel valuable, right? And when you see yourself as valuable, you'll begin to feel more valuable. And when you feel more valuable, you behave more confidently. And when you behave more confidently, you'll have better and more solid results. So I want you to understand that when these women are chasing the bag, they're not necessarily chasing anything of value when you're talking about the bag being money, because money goes up and down. It fluctuates. But the value of being a gentleman has standed the test of time since the beginning of time. The value of a gentleman never decreases. In fact, the older that you get and the more proficient that you become in being a man, your value increases. I want you to think about that. So from this day forward, I want you to become the bag. You are the bag. You are the value in the world. You, when you become a gentleman. The second point that I would like to raise to you is that if you are a male, the purpose of your life is to become a man. And the highest form of a man is a gentleman. Let me say it like this. The definition of the word God is supreme being. When you break that definition down, it means the highest form of life. Well, the highest form of life are human beings. And the highest form of human being is a male. Is male. The male is dominant in nature. And the highest form of a male is being a man. And the highest form of a man is to be a gentleman. Therefore, we define God, G.O.D, as gentlemen on display. You see, I want you to think of yourself as a God, as a gentleman on display. Anytime that you are displaying yourself, anytime that people see you, you are a gentleman on display, which means that you are a God. And I want you to think of yourself as a God. And when you think of yourself as a God, the highest form of a man, the highest form of life, when you start to think of yourself as a God, you begin to feel like a God and have confidence of a God and behave like a God and produce results like a God. So today, if you've had your head hanging low, if you have had low self-image and a low, poor self-esteem and lacked confidence, I want you to get that out of your mind and remember that you are the bag when you become a gentleman. You are a God. You are a gentleman on display. And it doesn't matter what society defines you as, because if society's definition is not beneficial to you, you have to throw that definition out and replace it with a definition that empowers you. The purpose of life is advancement and growth. And that which does not benefit your advancement and growth is counterproductive to life. I want you to think about that. So if the perception, the image that you have of yourself in your own mind is not beneficial, then I want you to replace it with these words: I am the bag. Say it with me. I am the bag when I become a gentleman. You see, your value, when you really think about this, is as a male, you have to become a man, and the highest form of a man is a gentleman. High, the word high means great value. One of the definitions of high means great value. So if you are a gentleman on display, a god, you are the highest form, the most valuable form of a male. I want you to think about that. I don't want you to walk around with your head hanging low anymore. I want you to think, I am the bag. Okay? In today's society, they say, what's up, dog? You are not a dog. You are a god. You are a gentleman on display. And you become the bag. You become a person of value when you become a gentleman. You become a god, the opposite of a dog, when you are a gentleman on display. This is the knowledge that we need in today's time, because we've been so broken and battered and beat. You know, so many men refer to themselves as dogs. Females refer to men as dogs. Oh, he ain't nothing but a dog. No, that is not what you are. You were never born or intended to be a dog. You were intended, if you are scripturally inclined, to be a man. And man was given dominion over everything in the heavens and the earth. He is a mini God. He is made in the image of God himself. In the Holy Quran, if you're so spiritually inclined, God is called Allah. And Allah is the beneficent and the merciful. One of the definitions of beneficence is the giver of gifts. Another definition of beneficence is in public, he is a gentleman. Gentleman. Go define the words for yourself. Study the word, the definition, and the synonyms of the words, and you will see that God is a gentleman. Think about that. So if you're made in the image of God, then what does that make you? That makes you a gentleman on display. That's what you are. Now, this knowledge is meant not to bash women or males. This knowledge is meant to empower you as a man. So from today forward, I want you to think of yourself and say these words: I am the bag. I am a God. And I want you to see yourself as that bag, as a man of value. To see yourself as a God, as the highest form of a male on this planet. That's what you are. And that's your nature. That's the reality. So if you think of yourself as anything other than that, you're thinking wrong. You're thinking in terms of a fantasy, which is not reality. Anyway, if you have gotten any value from this podcast, share it with every male and man that you know. Click the thumbs up button. Subscribe. Comment. I want to hear from you. But most importantly, go to slimsir.com and look at the books that we've been providing for you to help you, empower you, and to make you see yourself and feel and be confident so that you can have the life, your birthright, which is to be a God, a gentleman on display. On that note, happy Father's Day, brothers. Peace.